Here's video number 3 on the 1987 VW Syncro bus, inline 2.1 motor. Gone through the exterior of the vehicle in a test drive. Going to go through the engine bay, wheels and tires, and underbody and interior, and call this a wrap. For starters, we're not going to spend long on the wheels and tires. Older BF Goodrich all-terrain radials. These are showing some weather checking, dry cracking. They're 2004 date codes. Plenty of visible tread, especially on the back tires. And front tires show a little more wear, a little more chop. But they got some dry cracking in the treads. They're all holding air, and they seem to go down the road. I did 40 or 50 miles an hour on them, so but they're going to be aging out soon. Pull the dipstick. Interesting, you pull the dipstick through the gas door. Well, technically, I guess, I don't know if you call it a gas door, but it's an oil filler door, and it's right down here in the front. Kind of neat. 2.1 inline 4 cylinder motor, runs down the road good. We're just over a quart down on oil, but I've been parked back in the building here for over an hour, and I was parked outside there for a while, and there's a little bit of oil on the ground. Not sure where that's coming from, but the engine runs good, seems to idle good, accelerate good, you know, considering the size of the motor. There's been some aftermarket additions, but mostly it seems to have a stock look and stock appearance. And older clamps and hoses and whatnot. Some service work obviously been done over the years. Power bank there. So I'll fire the engine back up in a minute, but drivability wise, the engine seems to run good, and didn't really have any responsive issues other than the battery needs to be charged. I'm charging it right now to see if it will take a charge. Structure wise, the inner unitized rail structure and aprons all the way through, all the way back here, and then all the way through and back here, they look really good. I doubt this was a Michigan vehicle. The antifreeze has nice color to it, and I let it run for over 25-30 minutes once we got back from the test drive, and the cooling fan comes on and goes off as it should to keep the motor cool. The engine temperature did not seem to rise past an unusual level on the gauge. So I'll take a quick peek at the rear woodwork while I've got the rear deck up and the headliner material. All pretty presentable. A little bit of fading there on the wood. All this fits together nicely, and all factory spot welds here all along the engine bay opening. This whole structure back here from the underside looks really good. Doesn't look like anything's been popped in the back end. The rear tail panel support is all square and appropriate. I'll show you that when I get underneath the vehicle. The lockdown pins on the rear deck lid pin down just fine. They hook in the front just fine. That's all good. No issues there. The deck lid stays up as it should, and then these panels fold down corresponding. This storage panel folds down, and then this seat, I push this back. It's got a little bit of age showing right here along the edge. Got still photos of that. Rear stationary windows, they're in good shape. The moldings at the base of the windows, however, those are showing some substantial age. I got this door slid open, but that one looks the same as well as the other one. Okay, let's get under the vehicle. From a structure standpoint, the wheel tubs, I'm ahead of the driver's side rear tire. All that structure looks really nice. No rot or decay to speak of. That rail structure looks just fine. No evidence of it being smacked. Bottom of the pinch weld looks nice. Rear rail from a symmetrical appearance looks just like that, left and right. Factory visible pinch welds along here, and the rear tail panel support all the way across is looks good. Got a lot of still photos of that showing that it's nice and square and uniform and not been smacked. While I'm down here, the exhaust hopefully is cooled off, and it has. And we got a rattle in there somewhere. I don't know if it's internal or external. I'm guessing it's external because when I held my foot against it in the other video, I got it to stop rattling. I just don't know where that's coming from. Someone's going to have to pay attention to it. Back underneath the car, that's just rainwater, by the way. It was raining heavily when I first got here a few hours ago. The underside of the engine, transaxle, Syncro bus, so it's all-wheel drive. A little bit of oil seepage present on the bottom of the engine. Transaxle looks like it's in pretty good shape. The boots up inside here, those appear to be in pretty good shape. You can't get a great perspective on them because they're boxed in. And the front right boot is in good shape. The left front boot is ripped away and it needs to be replaced or serviced. That might include replacing the half shaft. As a general rule, you don't just replace a boot, you replace the whole half shaft because dirt gets in the joint. And because things were very similar side to side, I've got still photos up and down, left and right, front and rear, but I'll show you down this driver's side and tell you that the situation duplicates itself. Factory pinch welds still visible all along this flange. Your gray water storage lever works. Cap is off it. I don't think I'll touch that today. Floor pan structure is nice. There's some peel up there. This is just, that's coating. It's not metal shaving off there. So inner square tube structure is in really nice shape. It's not physically damaged or ran over anything. Here's a side view of the transaxle. And then the floor pan all the way throughout looks like this. It's a little easier to see on the other side. I might have to move over there just to get a better view. I forgot about the tank being on this side. The water valve, the water drain valve is right there, and that knob works pretty hard. It's a plastic threaded knob, and it could be replaced for probably $5 or $10 as opposed to having to gingerly work it back and forth to get it to open and close. But other than that, there's really no problem with it. It's just stiff from lack of use. Unfortunately, my OCD tendency won't let me skip doing this side. So there's our pinch weld again, looking nice. Wheel tub structure. This is behind the front passenger wheel. Again, all that structure is nice. Inner area, all very solid, very nice. Frame rails look great. Propane tank underneath here. Valve was open when I got here. Don't know if there's much fuel in that or not. All the mounts appear to be original. Control arm mounts. You can see the boots up there on the transaxle on the front end of the front wheel drive. Looks good, but the boot on the axle is missing. But anyway, here's our floor pan structure up there, and pretty easy to see that it's in nice shape. Our cooling lines, I don't see any leakage down here. The fan's up front and it's working good. All right, last but not least, we're under the front end structure. Virtually the same description as I have in the back. Here's our front bumper support, frame support all the way across, and that looks nice. Nothing separated here along the pinch weld. Looks good. Boxed rail structures look nice. The insides, the interiors of the rails don't have any wrinkles, warps, or pulling, yanking, etc. This rail looks really good too. So structure-wise, nice. No rust holes in the forward pan. You often see that on the Type 2 buses. I think my tank is empty there. CV shaft, the boot is missing right there. And over here we're good. Suspension wise, it felt good going down the road on the test drive. Hands off the wheel, seemed to steer okay, considering those tires got some wear on them. Spare tires in place. Didn't check it out too closely. It appears to be holding air. So there you have it. There's the underbody. As far as the bumpers go, they could stand a super light polish, but generally speaking, they're in good shape. There's one little whoop-de-doo right here, just a little punch, but nothing major. I don't think it's anything I would bother fixing.
Trucks out here.
So a few age cracks noted in the lenses. Nothing too bad for 1987, still usable. Rear lenses, those are original as well. This rear bumper, I believe, is an aftermarket unit, and fits nicely. It's a painted unit. A few small stains, probably could clean up a bit. Earlier I mentioned that there was a couple little dings here and there. Here's one right there. But not too many door dings to be talked about. All right, so on the interior of the vehicle, here's what I have discovered. We've got that courtesy light working, and I switched the bulb out of this one with that one in the back. Couldn't get the back one to work, so I'm not sure why. That back window crank will work if you force it, but I was afraid to force it. I got it open maybe 1/4 of an inch and I stopped. This window opens up just fine. This light illumines. Don't make me a liar. It did. All right, well, it illumines half the time. There we go. Got to hold the button in. So we got and then we got a pop-up sunroof in the top. I didn't climb up on the roof to see if it was sealed shut. It flips open. If I push hard on it, I feel like I can get it to start. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. I didn't get it fully open before. And I don't know, probably operator error, I would assume. So that is operating. This bar slips in here nicely. Keeps your kids or your luggage from rolling out of bed. Let me pause and fold this back up. So this center seat folds down, clips back into place nice. We got seat belts present. That cover folds back up nicely. Interior panels look like they're in nice shape. And this courtesy light on this side operates, so both of these operate. Inside, the fiberglass top looks like it's in good shape. I don't really see any issues to be reported. Stereo speakers are there, but I did not get them to... I got the stereo to turn on, but I wasn't smart enough to get it to work. Not sure what that was all about. This cabinet up here gives you access to your storage. Storage is pretty clean. A few radio wires and a bag of something with oil in it or something, maybe, and a back scratcher. Every van needs a back scratcher, doesn't it? So as far as shelving wise goes, this cabinet opens, that cabinet opens. The sink is covered here, and the faucet is unthreaded. I didn't find it. It might be in here somewhere, but I didn't find it. But it could be. This little table folds up nicely and holds itself in place, as does this little table here. That sets up there nicely. The ice box is clean. Pull the pin, and the it's in decent shape. I guess I'll show it again. And then we've got your dual burner stovetop, and I don't see the grills that go in place, but I presume they may be here. That seat reclines and the seat moves. It was turned backwards here when I rolled into town. So let's see down here. LP gas level gauge does work. When I flip this, the light goes on and the gauge moves. Actually, the gauge moves, not the light goes on. Water level, light goes on, empty. Holding tank, light goes on, empty. And battery aux, this will flip. I've got a battery charger on it currently. Don't know where the location of the auxiliary battery is, and I'm not getting a read on it, so I might not have one. Might just be kind of a standard gauge. Carpet's in nice shape. Nothing really to complain about. Headliner's in nice shape. No unusual odors. You know, it doesn't smell like it was a smoker's unit. I checked an ashtray right there, and that thing seems empty. A few minor things inside this bag. I forget what they are now, but they come with the van. All right, I want to make sure I don't leave anything on. This door locks in place. All the doors open and close like they should. The door panels are in decent shape. There's a couple small spots, you know, here and there. And when you crank on the windows, you run into the frame of the speaker a little bit. Unless you pull out on it, and then you don't do that at all. There's a few roller guide scratches, you know, in the windows. That's pretty common. Aftermarket tints kind of bubbling up here. But otherwise the windows roll up and down good. The bottom structure of the doors, that is nice. That is nice. Climbing in over the wheel tub area, all that's real nice. Don't see any evidence of rot or whatnot. Handle missing from the side of the passenger seat, and a little bit of dry cracking on top of the dash. Really relegated to that area. Sun visors come down and go back up like they should. On the seats, I should mention the armrests. They're a little, I'd call that shaky. So I think there's a fastening knob in there that should lock it in place. Boop, right there, and I don't think it's there. So that might need something, that might need a little bit of love and attention. This one goes all the way down as well. Now this one sets up nicely and got the adjustment there. Okay. All right, what else have we not covered? Carpets are in decent shape. Factory VIN stickers present. I pulled these out and shot photos. Some staining here and there. Gauges, odometer and speedometer are working, as I mentioned in the earlier video. 202,000 miles showing, or 206, I'm sorry. I got the fan controls working, and you can see that the stereo is cycling, but I pushed about 48 buttons and can't get it to can't get a sound out of it. No sound. Jam's in nice shape. Door panel over here in nice shape. A few little small chips, you know, along the top edge here. Wrinkled sun tint film on the doors. Again, the door's in great shape. So interior wise, pretty neat little rig. I wouldn't complain too much about anything here, just some general wear from use and people having fun in it. One thing I didn't do, I didn't roll the awning down. I unclipped it and I verified there is an awning in here, but I don't know where the poles are to it, and I didn't see any added poles inside. They might be up here and unfold right out of the unit. Actually, digging a little deeper, the poles are built in on this unit. My apology for not knowing that. And they seem to all fold out as they should. The awning could stand to be cleaned up a bit, but it is coming out. Might be a two-man, two-woman job. Not sure. but it's all there, and so hopefully it works. All right, I got everything put back inside. It's fighting me a little to completely clip closed. I'll have to look at that offline. Rubber seal up there. Looks like it's been added above that window. I'll go crank that window shut. I disconnected us from the battery charger. So let me fire it up and see if we can take her down the road one more time. Parking brake works, by the way. Lights come on as I turn the key forward. Okay, nothing connected to the battery at this point, so the battery is taking a charge. Battery's got a date on it of 5/23, by the way, so it was just changed recently. Parking brake off. Alright, we'll head down the road one more time and put the test drive video on this video. Okay, so there's a longer test drive video I'm providing the client with, but this one will be a short one that'll be added onto this video. And so shifting is appropriate, first to second. Acceleration is good, no flat spots. Odometer and speedometer are turning, second to third. Tachometer is working. And there's fourth gear. Stepping on the brakes with my hand off the wheel. And little truck stops nice and straight. Pedal feels good. No wobble or pulse noted. Clutch action again is right. Go back into first gear. So coming off the ground, right there I'm engaged. Right there I'm engaged. So 50-60% I would have to say. Odometer's turning. So a couple issues were the wipers swept a couple times and they kind of ran into each other, so there's going to be a issue. I'm not going to run them again because that'll happen again. So the wipers work, but they're going to need a wiper transmission, something sorted out to keep them from running into one another, right? That little rattle that we hear in the back, that's a loose muffler or muffler clamp or exhaust pipe or something in that vicinity. When I step on it with my shoe, it quits rattling. So did not see exactly what it was down there that was rattling. I'm going to stop outside now here and go around the vehicle one more time in the sunshine. Put a little exterior cosmetic effect on it. By the way, the brake light works. Didn't mention earlier, but the headlights are on. Marker lights are on, not on, but working rather. That's what I meant to say. So down the side we have a little bit of age showing in the paint right in this area. That might be probably cosmetically the worst effect. Sticker that pulled off here, a few various rock chips and nicks and whatnot. A little bit of a deep scratch right here and here. Age cracking in the vinyl sticker. A little bit of chipping and chafing down low where the door was opening and running into the dog leg a little bit. Again, more of the same regarding the paint. All factory readings on that paint, all digital readings, are all photographed, and the only area that I noticed that had a higher reading was right here in the sliding door, from about yay to yay. However, I don't see any obvious tape lines or color difference there. So not sure what went on there. Tires are aged out due to dry cracks. We spoke about that. The exhaust. Looks like it's right there on the catalytic converter, or the pre-converter. Rear deck holds itself up as it should. Tail light's working. Tail light is not working on the left rear. Side markers are. And then down the side, just a few small scratches. Couple door dings, nothing too much to report. A little bit of cracking here in this seam and a few chips. Overall presentation's pretty nice for the age. So no big chips or cracks in the windshield. These windows go up and down as they should. I feel like there's a few more things to mention that I may not have thought of, but I didn't see any lights illumine on the all-wheel drive. I noticed that there's some green lights in here, and I'm not sure what makes those illumine. Fan controls work, heater slides work freely. I did not get the rear defrost button. Oh, actually, there's the light on the side of it. My bad, it is lighting up. Okay, thought it would be on the face of it, so. Lights are back off. Hazards. Sounds like a VW. All right, Jason from Auto Appraise, finishing up an inspection on an 87 Syncro bus, 2.1 4-cylinder, 4-speed manual, all-wheel drive. Be a fun little camping rig if this looks like what you expected it's going to look like. Fix that muffler rattle, and again, about 1.5 quarts low on oil, but nothing major coming out of it. A bit of drippage, the oil pan. All right, thanks a bunch.